Hi, I'm PUterbaugh, and I'm the Director of Instruction at the PUterbaugh Golf Academy. Welcome to the tip of the day. As we tell our students here at the PUterbaugh Golf Academy, one of the basics of your address position is ball position. It's one of those things that we get a lot of confusion about. You'll read some articles that say put the ball in the middle of your stance, move the ball progressively farther forward as your clubs get longer. Then you'll hear somebody like a Jack Nicklaus said put the ball off your left heel and move the ball progressively. From that point, just widen your stance as you go. We think that both of those are right. The main thing we're trying to do in ball position is work at the center of our body in a position relative to the ball. The shorter the club, the center of my body, which I'm going to use as my sternum, is going to be more on top of the ball. The longer the club, the more my sternum needs to be behind the ball. So our goal in ball position as we move from our wedges through our long irons, fairway woods, and driver is that we are progressively going to move the center farther behind the ball. Now when you watch good players, what we tend to see as a relatively common procedure is they play almost all of their shots around 2 inches inside their left heel. And as they set up for a wedge or a short iron, their stance is approximately the width over the outside edge of the feet, fits under the shoulders. At this point, my sternum is just on the back side of the ball. Okay? As I move from my wedges to my middle irons, my stance progressively gets a little wider. As my stance gets wider, you can see what that does to my sternum. It moves it farther behind, providing I don't reach back over with my head and my arms. So if my head is moved a little bit farther behind, now my width of my stance, I've probably got half of my feet outside of my shoulders on both my left and right foot. So from this position, the ball hasn't changed, I've just gotten wider. As I go to my fairway woods and long irons, I've moved my stance to about maximum width. From this position, both the inside of my right and left heel are in the confines of my shoulders. So my feet are just a hair wider than my shoulders from the inside edge of my feet. From this position, my head should be somewhere close to 2 inches behind the ball. When I move to the driver, now I move the ball to the left heel. So the driver is really the only ball you change positions on. Everything else is staying pretty much in the 2-inch area. All you're doing is widening your stance and letting your center move back. The driver, you move it to the left heel. Now if everything's remained equal, your center should be around 4 inches behind the ball, which is optimum for a driver to allow you to hit the ball with the club on its upward arc versus its downward arc. So when you're working these things, you can also just do what I'm doing right here. Drop your club down from your sternum or sometimes even your nose to see where you are relative to the ball. This will help in your consistency throughout your game.